So hey, today is my day 28 of improving how I deliver my thoughts and opinions with you guys. So in this we are going to talk about a topic which will directly affect your pocket. Yes, sugar is not cheap anymore. You heard it right. Sugar is not cheap anymore for you guys. Now, if you go to the supermarket or a general store nearby your house, you have no got this news on like sugar prices has been raised up. But some of you haven't visited a kirana store for sugar. Let be aware what is happening. So India is the second largest producer of the sugar, white sugar in the world on the planet Earth, and as obviously we are the largest consumer of the sugar. So from the last decade we didn't have started importing sugar because we have fulfilled our needs from the domestic production, and we also managed to export the sugar from our country. We didn't even import in last 8 years, but it's happening now. So from the second largest producer to importing country first time in decade, and exports was banned. The crisis doesn't started 10 days or a week ago. It has been started. Government has seen the patterns from the May, and they have banned the exports of the sugar, and also advice to the mill owners or the big buyers to stock August stock limit. And on the August 20 they have also opened the import window for the 10 lakh quintals of the sugar for the duty free import. So not a crap. So in May, the government has banned all the sugar exports. In August, it kept how much sugar declares could stockpile, and by the 20th of the August, it opened the door to a million tons of duty-free sugar imports for the country. It's very important. Like it is happening first time in last eight for last 8 years. So three moves, 3 months, one direction that India needs more sugar than it is producing now. Like our consumption is here and our production is here. To fulfill this gap, we have to import the sugar. How can we? How can we fulfill this gap? We takes the place of import. So here's the part, there are two main reasons where these gaps happen. So one, this is the second year in a row where India making less sugar than it's consuming. Actually, the actually what happens that India is consuming is a huge consumer of sugar based products, but in the last 2 years India is not producing at its full capacity. So why this happens? Small gaps stack back to back and eat through the reserve stock fast. So what this happens, we didn't have reached the full limit, full potential of the sugar production of our country. So this triggers that we have to we have to bring our stocks down, and we have to use the sugar from the previous year, and all that was happening. And the second biggest reason was that roughly 10% of the India sugar output is being redirected to before it reaches the shop shelves and your houses, has been transferred to the ethanol producing mills, to blend the ethanol with petrol, and that target was locked in the month before anyone knew this year crop would fall short. Yes, the obvious reason is behind this crisis is the crop failure of the sugarcane. But the government didn't know that thing months before when they are fixing this percentage. like 10% of the sugar production has been directly transferred to the ethanol producing or ethanol blending mills, refineries, where the petrol is blended with the ethanol, and our more 10% of the production has been gone to there. So leftover 90% is not enough in this year to curb the consumption of the Indians. Like also the biggest factor behind this crisis is our crop failure in, like we have seen heavy rainfall in some regions like Maharashtra, UP, and Madhya Pradesh, where the water logging has turned a massive destruction in the fields. So there is also a crop disease called red rot. Can't remember that name. So uh, uh, someone are saying that this is complete a totally a policy failure of the government. Ethanol targets were pushed without a buffer for the bad crop and season. Now food security is paying the price of energy coal. Yes, it is the main reason. It is like I also think that this is the reason. Like government didn't think about if some year in some year, like when the crop failure does happens, what will they do? Because they have redirected the 10% of the sugar to the ethanol mills, and there is not enough buffer for us to maintain our needs. So that it is the one of the biggest reason. So nobody is arguing prices went. The argument is why, and that argument decides whether the fix is slow down ethanol or manage imports. Wait the season, may wait out of the season. For government is totally denying that this is due to the ethanol or their policy failure. They are totally blaming, what they are blaming, they are blaming crop failures and the heavy rainfall behind this. So government is trying to controlling the inflation before the festive season come Diwali. As you know that there's a huge spike in the demand of sugar, that prices. So government is trying to control the retail inflation without taking a fight with their farmers or ethanol lobby. For sugar mills, the export bans cut off the revenue stream, right, as ethanol contracts look less attractive than selling sugar at today high prices. So what happened in this scenario that the government bans the exports, and they offers the sugar mills to cooperate with them to produce ethanol with the sugar, extra sugar they are exporting with. So this was the win-win situation for the government and the ethanol lobbies, but no one was expecting this key. Uh, Something like crop failure in the season will happen, and they will have to pay the price of higher price of the food in respect to the fuel. So that was the biggest policy failure of the government. They didn't have made us enough buffer or a buffer stock for the sugar before transferring the 10% huge number to the ethanol production, and they have to be ready for it. And as we know that it is irony that they are producing petrol, blending ethanol with petrol to reduce the prices of petrol, but we can't see the low prices of petrol, and we can also see that sugar prices also surge up. This is totally ironical statement, but let's see what happens. Government will have taken some measures, like the prices will surely goes down in coming 1 to 2 months, because this takes much time to curb the prices which went so much up. So that's it for today. We will meet in next video.